Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're here to talk about the mistake that 99% of players on NBA 2K21 make when guarding pick and roll. So I hope y'all enjoy the video. If you do, for to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. And like always, let's try these 1 to 1,000 likes. Now, you're gonna see it's me and J20. I'm on my 6'8", he's on a 6'7". We're going against two guys. It's essentially everything you're gonna always see in this game, alright? Two power forwards. Now this one right here is actually more of a big man oriented one, whereas the guy at the one is, you know, the typical 6'7" point guard type of a power forward. Now what I'm going to start you guys off with in this gameplay, we're going to fast forward through a little bit of these clips because it's pretty much the first 3 scores that they get are not off pick and roll. It's all just kind of random BS off the inbound or just some catch and shoot, like weird stuff where essentially we were just tweaking on defense. Now you're going to see right there, boom, hits him on a catch and shoot. Doesn't even green it, 22%. You know the deal. Whites go in this game. You got to deal with it every now and then, so just keep that in mind. But moving along, you're going to see, again, off-ball decks with the ball in the big man's hands. Green off the top, just like that. Now it's 5-0. And essentially what's going to happen right here is the point guard gets another green off a three-pointer. And just like that, he has sharp takeover. And they haven't even set up a pick-and-roll set on us. Now, don't get me wrong. That is definitely part of this game. And you can see right here, J20 goes jumping. I jump. He gets us, runs back out the three-point line, greens it, sharp take. Just like that. Now, this is where the pick and roll starts to go into play because they start to slow it down a little bit and they're starting to use the sharp takeover, and with that, they have the big man setting the screens. Now, this is where I'm here to talk about the mistake that 99% of players on NBA 2K21 make when guarding pick and roll. It's as simple as this. Playing sides defense, this is what we should be doing. I should be up a little bit higher, J20 should be lower. Now, what a lot of people make the mistake of is they follow through this screen right here, and then I'm playing too low, which is making it so my teammate feels responsible for following through the screen. Now 100%, what I'm here to talk about in this video, I call it transitions or pre-switching, if you will. So this right here I haven't done a lot of on next gen because it's pretty rare that you play against somebody that runs screens. But now, if you're anything like me, when you run into somebody who plays like screens, you and your teammate don't know how to communicate this type of stuff because you barely ever run into it. So what I'm here to talk about, like I said, is the pre-switch, where J20, who's on ball in this situation, needs to drop early. And essentially what I'm saying here is to go under the screen rather than over it, because I'm going to be on the overside. He needs to stay on the underside to where he's taking away the backside for the pick and roll, the slip, all types of stuff like that. And I'm taking away the three-pointer as this guy is moving toward the left side of the screen. Now, what this can get dangerous with sometimes is you're going to see I'm going to go ahead and try and overrun it to where we're stopping the fade, because you guys know if you played this game, you run into that problem a whole lot. And you're going to see I even do that later, and then I run into a situation where he quick stops at the top and I'm just completely screwed off that. And it's very hard to play people really high on the pick and roll sides in this game because of the fact that fading is so OP. So again, look at this. I'm over here overrunning it. I'm always on this wide side trying to take away the fade, and just like that, he gets me and just runs right in there, and it's just a problem, man. All right, so here's what we're here to talk about, transitions again. So you're gonna see J20 goes for the lane. This guy is just sprinting, and I gotta say, one thing that you guys have probably noticed about this game, and what I've 100% noticed, is sprint speed from the ball handlers is ridiculous in this game. Like, I'm talking when these dudes just move their left stick in one direction, straight run. That's so fast, bro. And honestly, what it's due to is the whole 6'7", having like a high speed with ball, etc., stuff like that. Hall of Fame quick first step. We all know the deal with how broken the game is in this regard. All right, so now as you can see, me and J20 are just completely in no man's land. I'm way too low. He's way too far to the left, to where if the big man rolls, he's completely out of the play, can't seal off that backside. And even if I am to step up right here, now really where this all starts from is just, you know, getting caught reaching right here in a situation you definitely shouldn't be. And again, it just takes him completely out of the play when it comes to this backside defense, completely out of the play when it comes to guarding the point guard. I mean, you could see like it's just literally all the way out of position. Now you can see he's still gonna try and take away this backside, but fortunately for the PG, he gets a bailout pass where he's able to get it down to the big, and the big slipped. He rolled at the perfect times. I mean, flat out, if you have high IQ as the big when it comes to the slips and stuff like that, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, there's so much power in the PGs this year to where it demands so much attention from both defenders, and really it's very easy as a big to be taking the slips like this when it comes to the next gen stuff. Alright, now this play right here is exactly what I'm talking about with the title, the mistakes that people make when guarding pick and roll in 2K21. Now, I want to stress that what I'm most particularly talking about is people in J20's shoes right here, where you were initially guarding ball, and when you're fiending for guarding the ball and going for reach-ins or trying to fight through screens and stuff like that, yeah, I'm on the backside right here, ready to step up. The pre-switch and being ready to take away this slip right here is so important. It's so important to know and be able to do. And you're going to see, honestly, in this play right here, the big man makes a mistake and doesn't take the easy slip when it's right there. I mean, there's no reason. to be holding B in this situation. Like, I'm fully up, take away the slip like that. Now right here when he runs it back, I'm already way too high. Like, I'm not prepared to drop back right here, so I'm just assuming I'm gonna follow through on this one and I make him miss on the pick. Now just like that, J20's on the backside. Now I'm gonna be on the left, he's on the right. It completely switched, but you got to be able to adapt and just like deal with that on the fly essentially. Now you're gonna see I'm on the backside, I get caught reaching, and I make the exact same mistake that I was just talking about, and now J20 is really low. It's very hard to do in this game because of just responsiveness and how your players move and stuff like that, and really to be able to take away the top of the key 3-pointers. Now, fortunately, I know the situation at hand right here where J20 is obviously going to step up on this pick because it's very easy to tell when you're in this situation. You know your teammate is lacking and you're going to want to step up right here. Yet in this situation, it's hard to tell what's going to happen. You have to trust in your teammate that he's going to step up on the 3. And honestly, if he doesn't for one possession, it's going to be a very obvious mistake that you guys made to where he knows in this next time that he steps up right here, he's going to need to. So you're going to see I don't drop back very early, but it's early enough to where it takes away the roll. And just like that, we're all good. Now J20 gets caught jumping right here. I'm not exactly sure the reason for it. And honestly, there will be mistakes like this that just happen in general. I'm not blaming or knocking anybody for making those types of mistakes because flat out, I mean, it just was instinct play where he probably tried to jump down and get the block because I was a little bit out of position. But there's the problem right there. Now, you're gonna see right here, I'm on the left side, J20 on the right. Again, this is where things need to be a lot more clarified when it comes to how you guys are playing sides. Now, fortunately right here, I'm taking away the slip a little bit because flat out, if J20's in this situation right here where he's kind of trailing and moving more horizontal than he is vertical to get down for this roll right here, I know I got to play the lane while still responsibly playing my left side of the screen just in case he does follow or just in case he does actually drop. And maybe me dropping like this gives him enough time to actually drop and be responsible for the big while I still have a chance to take away the 3 or the fadeaway on this left side or anything like that. So keep in mind, this is really a good example of this pick and roll defense and how I could possibly patch this up with just the way I'm playing defense. But essentially what ends up happening is he follows through with this point guard right here, and then I drop back fully to guard the big. So we're just gonna let that play out a little bit. You can see right there how the defense goes. Now we're gonna run that back one time real quick just to show you this is where the indecision comes into play and how communication and knowing what you want to do as a team or as a duo, if you will, is super important. So ideally, what would be happening right here, in my opinion, is J20 would follow through with the big, and I just am responsible for the point guard, and I'm holding the big down at the same time for a little bit, like I was just talking about. But what ends up happening is he thinks to drop, and then the point guard is just wide open because I, am taking away the slip right here. Like, there's no chance if I was stepping up fully that this big doesn't just dunk the ball. It's as simple as that. So indecision is very important and very key to the mistakes that you would make when it comes to pick and roll defense. Now again, he's lacking behind just a little bit, and I know this video is kind of a targeting J20 video where I'm just talking about the mistakes that have been made in the pick and roll defense, but it's very important for somebody like him to know in the situation that we play against some pick and roll. Now this is exactly what I'm talking about too, with how rare it is that we play against pick and roll in this game because it's so ISO meta. It's so dominantly ISO meta where you're going to constantly run into the people that are just sticking one guy on the wing or the corner, and you're never going to have to deal with rotations like this when it comes to the two-man pick and roll game. Now, I'm very familiar with this, obviously, with this 2K20, 19, 21 current gen, like stage meta of like all the pick and roll defense I've been playing. So obviously, I'm already knowing I'm stepping up on this right side. Again, it's very important to know you have to pre-switch this and drop back on the big once the point guard is running away from your side of the screen. So if you're on the left side and the point guard is moving to the right, you need to be ready to drop back and take away this big man right here, because flat out, that is going to be something people will eat you alive with on this 2v2 stuff. They will take their slips all day. 2 points is 2 points. They still get the ball back. It's make it, take it. So it doesn't even matter if you're getting the 2 points. That sharp takeover too, I got to say, is such a threat to where it demands so much attention from the defense to where you do give up easy rolls like that. Now this right here is going to be great defense, great transitions and pre-switch from both of us. So you're going to see right here, again, he's moving to left. I'm already up on him. J20 is on the backside, taking away this roll. So nothing is there. Now, he looks for the shot, doesn't have it. Pump fake, simple as that. Now I'm on the right, J20 is on the left. Now I'm going to go ahead and, pre-switch as well. I take away the roll somewhat. I'm not going to lie. I still kind of tweaked on that a little bit. And then you're going to see point guard doesn't have a shot again, but this is where the struggle of this is essentially ISO at this point, right? Like I'm down there with the big. I'm in no way ready to step up or anything like that, because if I do, it's just, honestly, I'm already too late. Like I'm in this position. I can't even step up and jump at this in the first place. And then even if I do, J20 just completely out of his play. That is essentially ISO with a big just down in the paint right there. It's just a one-on-one situation that we end up losing 21-0. Simple as that. Why? Because we didn't know how to defend this pick and roll. Now, We're gonna run this back. We're gonna like come around on them and just run it back. But you're gonna see how we properly play the pick and roll a little bit better in the second game. All right, so as you can see, same opponents right here, same matchup as far as like the positions and stuff like that as well. Nobody changed builds or anything. We just came around right away. So you're going to see on this one, I'm only showing defense. We do end up winning this game flat out. I'll just tell you guys that. But I'm going to show only defense for the sake of the video. So you're going to see perfect transitions in this one right here. You can see we both start out really low on the picks as well. Perfect defense. This is how you should be playing this in the first place. When this guy is in this non-scoring position, don't be playing too high on the picks. Don't give up an easy slip for no reason, because this dude is not shooting the ball from right here. Simple as that. Now, you're going to see right there, J20 is prepared to step up to the left. I'm already on this backside because the point guard is moving to the left and I know I'm responsible for the right. It's literally as simple as that. Now, I'm going to step up to the right here because I know that's my responsibility. And J20 gets caught with the pick. Now, he does a really good job at getting in position right here, but as you can see, nice little bailout, boom, contact dunk on the alley-oop. I mean, things like that are very tough, especially when you start a game like that, when you could have had the ball at 0-0 and then just like that get your scoring run on rather than the other team getting their chance at the ball and, you know, to be able to do their thing. Now, that right there, I gotta say, that's some big boss move right there from any pick and roll big. Now, I love doing this myself. I gotta say, I do kind of miss the pick and roll style as well. But man, this right here is just a tough situation to be in. Now, ideally, what really should be going on right here is I probably should just stay on the backside. You're going to see the point guard moves to left, and I think that's my responsibility for the moment. So I'm going to step up over to that, and especially with just the way that they executed on this, it's so hard to guard this properly. You're going to see, I mean, honestly, there's nothing I can do at this point. Like, if I stick with the big right here and try and cut him off, then J20's trailing the point guard just like that. Now, maybe that would have been the better idea to do right here, because flat out, you can't give up the easy bucket right here. And if there's anything I should be taking away, it's this right here, because J20 stands no chance at actually chasing that down by any means. So what I should have done is just stick with that, and you can see my movement and just stuff like that as well. It kind of goes to that late, but it was just too late at that point. Now, again, that is very hard to guard. That situation right there where the ball is in the big man's hands and he can just slip it on his own without the point guard having to hit him or anything like that. Super hard to guard. Now you can see right there, he's trying to do it again. Again, that time I'm on the left side and J20's more on the back, whereas pretty much this positioning he's in right here is more capable of stepping back and taking away the big, whereas last time he was like directly behind him just because of the inbound, and that's where you're completely screwed. Like, you're just out of that play. So easy situation for me to actually step up to the PG that time. Now this right here, if there's anything to be said about this, I'm gonna just put it like this. If this big is comfortable shooting the ball like this, let him, because flat out, I'd rather him just take that shot off dribble, all types of stuff like that. You can see it results in us getting 13 points. I mean, simple as that. But now you're gonna see some more BS where J20 goes for the dunk. It completely just misses, wide open, straight up like that. So you're gonna see I activate my lock takeover, get the reach in, fast forward the next part of the possession. Now this one right here is gonna be a great example of J20 actually executing on this backside very well. So you're gonna see this is already like passed through his mind, and I've kind of preached this vocally as we've already like gone through the game. So you can see right here, obviously we know the exact situation. He knows it by now as well, where the point guard is gonna be moving to the left. So I'm stepping up. He's responsible for this backside. Now he could have done a little bit better of a job as well right here, to where he could cut off the big man from actually getting a roll animation and be in front of him to take that away from him. But you can see he was trailing right behind him and actually gets a really good animation. Hall of Fame interceptor, really high steal rating, all that stuff plays into a big factor right there, and is able to get us the ball back. And honestly, man, getting the ball back is so important on this game, flat out, simple as that. Now, we only get one more bucket after we get that three-pointer right there, to where it's 18-4 right now. We're still in a great situation, and you can see J20 has his lock takeover as well. We were just testing the extreme clamps. Now, I gotta say, this is where I just call this kind of like uber aggressive defense, to where people just want to fiend for this ball when they're on ball. Now, what I'm preaching right here and what this title is all about is exactly what J20 does right here. And anybody who's in this situation, I need you guys to understand straight up, as simple as this. You got to play the team defense. You got to trust in the system. You got to play that pass off defense, to where I'm going to pick him up and then you drop back and take away this backside. Simple as this. I mean, if I'm just playing the backside like this, and this is where I want a lot of the people who are uber aggressive on defense to understand, if I'm in the backside defense right here and just letting you do your thing and trying to get through these picks, the moment you actually get brick walled one time is where I look completely stupid for just sitting all the way back on defense and giving up a wide open three-pointer just like that. Now, this is where, again, we're just all out of sorts and just out of, you know, any type of organized defense because of what's going on with this type of stuff. So I gotta say, if you want to play side defense, you gotta 100% be committed to it. Now this is where I'm just like, hey, if you want to play the front back, let's do it right here. Like, let's just do it. So you're gonna see this is where communication comes into play. Like I just said, we're gonna commit to the front back defense. I'm not gonna pick up on these screens unless he gets completely big bodied right here. So you're gonna see he kind of brushes through the screen. I'm not gonna lie, this is still a very questionable situation. I really hate being in this spot right here because flat out I would like to step up on these types of situations with the screens, but I already know he's not gonna be anywhere near the big. So I'm just letting him get that shot off. And honestly, if he has any faster of a jump shot, he might have got that off. But either way, I mean, we got double lock takeover. You got a lot of room for error when it comes to that situation. And just like that, you can see with the lock takeover, I get the steal right here. They don't end up getting the ball back. I hit J20 on this back door right here, and that's game. Simple as that. Now, what is to be learned about this video? Honestly, I didn't even show you guys a lot of the perfect situations as to like how to properly guard this stuff. I just explained to you what you should be doing and essentially to learn from our mistakes. So again, just to talk about this situation right here, trust in your team defense. If you're ever in this situation, and honestly even in this situation too, this one is a lot easier though. I'm gonna just put it like that. Like if you're originally on the big and you see that your point guard is gonna get hit with a pick, you obviously are going to want to step up and be prepared for that. Now, in this situation where you're already on ball, you have to trust in your teammate that he's going to step up, and you need to be reliable for taking away this backside. It's as simple as that, really. And again, even though they don't get the roll off or anything like that, you can see, I mean, this obviously just put us in a horrible situation where neither of us knew what was going on. And again, if you want to play backside defense and just front and back where you're not going to switch on screens and switch everything, and you don't want to give up easy 2-point buckets or essentially leave a gap in the middle to be able to shoot through, honestly, you just got to have communication of this where you're not going to switch by any means, unless it's like a big body screen or anything like that. But you can see great defense was played right here. I end up getting the steal. Boom. That's a game-saving play and literally just ends the game. But again, for the last time, I just want to reiterate to you guys, the mistake that I'm trying to explain to you guys right here is when you're originally on ball and eventually needing to switch back to the big, to be aware of that. You 100% need to understand that, or else you're not going to be able to stop pick and roll very consistently. It's about as simple as that. If you're trying to play strictly front back in this game of all types of fading from 3, from the PGs and stuff like that, you 100% cannot just fight through screens. You have to switch everything and make sure you're not giving up slips at the exact same time, which is what I'm talking about. The pre-switch is super important to be done. So anyway, that's all for the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties, all that good stuff. Like I said in the intro, let's try just 1 to 1,000 likes. And if you made it to the end of the video, put LA in the comments to show your support, man, all the way through. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed, and take it easy, man. Peace.